Mysteries to Die For is happy to welcome Erica Obey back to the morgue. Erica lives in the Hudson River Valley, which inspires the setting for her short stories and her full-length mysteries. She hiked out of the very ice caves featured in today's story, but she didn't see the amphipods. Check out her Hudson Valley Mysteries and Watson and Doyle stories through her website, ericaobey.com. Welcome to Mysteries to Die For. I am TG Wolff, and I'm here with Jack, my piano player and producer. This is a podcast where we combine storytelling with original, if unplanned, music to put you in the heart of a mystery. All stories are structured to challenge you to beat the detective to the solution. Jack and I perform these live, front to back, no breaks, no fakes, no retakes. In the world's most dangerous working environments, it can seem like everything is out to kill you. The equipment you use, the materials you work with, the very air you breathe. Stored energy is a coiled viper waiting for the right moment to lash out. Owners, manufacturers, contractors, and beyond have developed safety protocols to combat sticky. That is, stuff that can kill you. From gravity to motion, mechanical, electrical, pressure, sound, radiation, biological, chemical, and temperature. This season is all about the means of murder as our authors put our sticky detective skills to the test. This is Season 9, Stuff That Can Kill You. And this is Episode 1, where chemicals is our sticky means of method. This is Phidias Quinn and the Butterfly's Wing by Erica Obey. Welcome to Season 9, Jack.
Yay, we lived another year, fellas.
We did make it to another year.
We lived another year.
It's really hard to believe we're in Season 9. We started this in 2020.
Yes,
just
and
for
now
funzers.
It's almost done of 25.
Yeah, we are
Pretty
recording
neat.
this just a couple days before Christmas, and this will drop mid-January.
Yes, pretty neat indeed.
So we have a really fun story for you today and all of our detectives out there.
Uh-huh.
So I'm really anxious to see what you all think of this. Make sure you have your thinking caps on here because this one's going to test you.
Yep, okay.
All
Ready
right.
to pay attention.
All right. Have you picked a baseline for today?
I have not. I'm thinking we're going to go something, a real doozy.
A doozy.
A doozy.
What's this from? A Duesenberg?
Oh, yeah. Maybe not. That might be a terrible sound.
So we're on a movie set in a cave, if that helps any.
Yeah.
You like that? All right. That kind of works because this is the cave, the crystal cave of the Watchers. So it's got that kind of.
That's nice and ethereal.
It is ethereal. That is a perfect word.
Uh-huh.
All right, you ready to jump in?
I'm enthralled.
We are going to start with action.
Enthralled.
The crystal cave of the Watchers, Phidias Quinn breathed. Take care when you gaze upon it, my friends, lest you become dizzied with the wonders you behold beyond its walls. He raised his flickering lantern, and sheets of crystal burst into life from the walls of the cavern, their every gem-like facet glittering with strange and wondrous life. Worlds shimmered within worlds, promising marvels that lay just beyond the icy veil. Phidias's band of followers gasped as one, that morning's quarrel in the camp forgotten in the face of such magnificence. It is wondrous. A mousy woman threw back her drab cloth overcoat to bathe in light, and as her hair escaped from its prim bun, she was beautiful. For God's sakes, what are you doing? Snapped the equally mousy but far less hirsute Professor Theobald. That's supposed to be Lady Cartwright's line. Eunice! Lady Cartwright reeled and plowed into Theobald, clutching the furs she donned against the chill. "Stop lollygagging and fetch my smelling salts. I'm feeling quite faint." In an instant, Eunice transformed back to Lady Cartwright's long-suffering companion. "Of course, my lady, Lady Cartwright," she said. She turned to Phidias, her eyes suddenly brimming with tears. "Forgive me. I can only plead that I was overcome by the magnificence of the moment. It's like there are entire worlds out there just waiting to be explored." "Now that's my line," Professor Theobald sighed, irritably stroking his wispy mustache. "Just keep going," Peg hissed from the shadows. "We can fix it later." "Anyone would be overcome, for this sight is not for the faint of heart." Phidias took command of the situation. "For if my research is correct, there are not only worlds beyond these walls, there are even more worlds within those worlds." Angling the lantern to cast a mysterious light on the patrician angles of his face, Phidias turned to the camera and went on. "For this is the Cave of the Watchers, the angels who did not choose sides in the war between heaven and hell. They preferred to remain onlookers, and so the Lord gave them their wish. They are chained here for eternity in this cave, doomed to guard the portals between the infinite realities that open beyond these walls, always watching and never touching or feeling inside." His words echoed through the cave, then died off in silence as the tiny band contemplated the enormity of the angel's fate. Hank, their guide, broke the silence. "What do you say we stop talking and find these watchers? I'm not seeing any angels lying around here." He was a muscled man in a fedora and a leather vest who was seething with resentment after Phidias had threatened to fire him for dishonoring a local maiden at the local tavern. "Of course you aren't. You are witnessing something far greater. If only you had the eyes to see it." Phidias stooped and snatched up a tiny object. When he held it aloft, it glittered with weird iridescence, illuminating the icy crystals in every color of the rainbow. "It's a wing!" Eunice gasped. Could it be an angel's wing?" Lady Cartwright steamrolled over her, milking every word as though it was Shakespeare. "It's something far rarer," Phidias breathed. "This, my friends, is a butterfly's wing. And while the Watchers may be the guardians of the portals between realities, the butterflies are the key that unlocks them." "How can something," Eunice began, "how can something as tiny as a butterfly command something as great as this world?" Lady Cartwright cut over her ruthlessly. Briefly, confusion reigned. "That's my line," Professor Theobald sighed. But the cameras were rolling, and Phidias raised his voice to override them all. "You have heard, I trust, of the butterfly effect." As the last two words resounded, the butterfly's wing began to glow, sending tendrils of light to cocoon the worlds inside the crystals. Only when the reverberations finally died to nothingness did Phidias go on. "A new scientist by the name of Lawrence published a paper just last year about how something as minute as a butterfly flapping its wing can cause chaotic shifts in weather patterns." His voice lowered portentously. "And they can cause far more chaotic shifts as well, bifurcating the timeline, the scientists call it, creating momentary shifts so chaotic that the only way the universe can right itself is by splitting off new worlds. Such shifts are the scientific truth behind the tales of the Watchers and the portals between the worlds they guard. And here we stand at the beating heart of it, beneath the towering mountains of the Caucasus. One step further, and we will find ourselves lost in another world, never to return." "I'll take the point," Hank said. "Don't be rash!" Phidias sprang to stop him. "You have no idea what danger—" "Hank, my love, no!" Eunice threw herself upon Hank. "What if you never return? You swore to rescue me from the vile servitude I endure with that woman. You swore we would sail the 7 seas. What the hell are you doing? Hank's broad accent was very much in evidence. That wasn't in the rewrites. Don't be a fool. Phidias's alarm was genuine. We dare venture no further. It is too dangerous. That's what you say, old man. I say you know there's treasure hidden back there and you want it all for yourself, Hank sneered. The treasures of the Watchers are far too dangerous for amateurs to play with, Phidias said. Well, if you don't mind, I'd rather see that for myself. Hank pulled his revolver from its holster, and everyone fell back with a gasp. Stand back, all of you! That treasure is mine! But as he plunged toward the heart of the glowing cave, a new voice echoed from the depths of the cavern. Cease and desist, all of you! This production must be shut down immediately! What the hell? Who is that? Where's Peg? Where the hell is our script girl? Peg! I need you out here! I need you! Oh, for Christ's sake, cut! The frantic monologue overrode everyone else's. Mel Moskowitz, the Hollywood legend who had been voted king of the drive-in double feature for 3 straight years from 1961 to 1963, leapt from his director's chair. What the hell do you think you're doing? He shouted at the newcomer. You're supposed to be waiting back there by the chrysalis of death. The enraged father of the deflowered village maiden can't show up until after we've killed off Hank. He's our main suspect, you moron. How in the hell are you supposed to be a suspect if you don't even have a dead man yet?
I'm sensing some foreshadowing here. Is that what this could be?
Are you intrigued by the movie within a podcast?
Oh, it's very interesting.
So did it make sense what's happening? That they are shooting a movie, and they keep stepping over each other's lines, and Professor Theobald is pissed.
Mr. Theobaldi is pissed. And you know what? With such an Italian name, I'd be pissed too.
I don't think that his name is Italian. Maybe I even said it.
Theobaldi?
Theobald. Theobald?
I don't know what I was thinking in my head. Apparently, I was thinking very Italian in my head.
Yes, you were. All right. You ready for
Sure.
All right, here we go
So what's happening? What's about to give me a trailer. Play me a trailer.
Give you a trailer.
I'll shut up. Let's just start.
Sorry, I don't have one.
Nah, I need a little
looking
introduction to the following media. I feel like a standard.
More arguing?
Contract.
More arguing.
Well, here we go then.
Places. The camera lights faded, as did the mystic glow of the cave, revealing walls shimmering with phosphorescent paint. They were not on location in Caucasus. Instead, the Cave of the Watchers had been discovered conveniently located in the Catskills, where it did a brisk business catering to the surrounding resorts as the Ice Cave Mountain of Ellenville. Immediately, Eunice and Lady Cartwright turned on one another. You're stealing my lines, hissed Lady Cartwright, who was actually Dolores Del Marimba, nee Dottie Farwinkle. You're trying to upstage me. Honey, I don't have to try. Eunice threw back her shoulders, showing off the assets that had made Crystal Barre a star in half of the gentlemen's clubs in Hollywood. I'm sick of warning you two, Mel snarled, and then turned on Hank, the guide. Get your women under control, or I'll swear you'll never work in this town again. Silence, all of you! I have no time for your petty quarrels. I want you out of here now! A man stepped into view, working his way carefully along the rough rock path that led up to the road above their heads. The newcomer could have been Professor Theobald's twin. He was wearing the same jodhpurs, tucked into high boots, and a pith helmet. A heavy-duty flashlight hung from his belt. A Swiss Army knife and magnifying glass poked from 2 of the many pockets in his fishing vest. Oh, for Christ's sakes, Mel sighed. What the hell are you doing up there? Look, I told you, you're supposed to be waiting for your cue next to the chrysalis of death. And what in the hell are you doing in Professor Theobald's costume? You're supposed to be wearing a ragged cassock that marks you as a priest of the ancient order of monks. Look, about that, Peg, the script girl, stepped out of the shadow, clipboard in hand. No girl, she was a lean, no-nonsense woman with thick horn rims and sturdy shoes. She was also said to be the real genius behind the string of B-movies that earned Mel Moskovitz the title King of the Drive-In double feature. I gotta ask, he's supposed to be a wrong maiden's father. How can he be a monk? Monks are celibate. Sweetheart, don't overthink it. Mel sighed. Men have their failings, you know, even monks. Peg's mouth twisted cynically. Ain't that always the way? Mel returned to the newcomer wearily. Okay, look, this is wardrobe screw-up, not yours, but you can't be a monk dressed like that. Let Peg find you something to wear. The newcomer drew himself up stiffly. I'm afraid you're laboring under a misapprehension. I am not an actor. He fumbled in one of the many pockets on his vest. Dr. Milo E. Christos of the American Museum of Natural History and Harvard University. Mel examined the card the man proffered like it was a counterfeit bill at a 3-card Monte table. He tossed it into one of the murky pools that had been rapidly beginning to spread at the foot of the melting ice. I don't care if you're Albert F. Einstein. This is a closed set. Peg, get me security. Stand back! Snatching up the revolver Hank had set aside, Phidias threw himself between them. For the moment he touches you, he will snatch you away to an alternate dimension. Is that not true, Dr. Chrysalides? Oh, God, here he goes again, Hank muttered. The rest of the actors joined in. Seriously, does the man ever get out of character? Someone should lock him up. Oh, for Christ's sakes, Phidias, we killed your ancient enemy Chrysalides in the last movie, Mel sighed. He was going to jump shit and go over to the Espositos, who were him full creative control, all the way down to writing the scripts himself. Any fool could see it was nothing but a mob front and no movies were ever going to get made. Still, the putz thought he put me over a barrel. Well, I showed him fast enough. No one holds out on Mel Moskovitz. If I may, the newcomer snapped, my name is Christos, and I am not your ancient enemy. I'm an entomologist. Then, fine, Mel said. You can come take a poke at my prostate when we're done. Right now, you're out of here. I think you're confusing him with the gastroenterologist, Peg murmured. If what he says is true, this gentleman is an expert on insects. Not insects, Christos corrected her, but rather the Stygobromus alleghaniensis, the Allegheny cave amphipod. A remarkable creature, really. Eyeless, depigmented, and highly cold tolerant. It lives in small pools inside the ice caves and can survive being frozen at the surface while avoiding freezing by staying near the bottom. You mean the glowworms? Peg asked. If you're after the glowworms, you got nothing to worry about. We had to write them out. They wouldn't hold still long enough for us to spray paint them, even after we chloroformed them. The set director went with nightcrawlers instead. You spray painted the amphipods? Dr. Christos asked. What else would we do? Mel sighed. They needed to glow. You want that I should fill the cave of watchers with glowworm guardians that don't glow? The Allegheny Mountain amphipod is exceedingly rare, having only been recorded in a few states. New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and West Virginia, to be exact. Dr. Christos gasped. These precious crustaceans can only be found in this particular biome. And you just chloroformed them? You killed them all. Oh no. We only took a few for testing, Peg hastened to assure him. She waved a hand toward the slimy runoff of melted phosphorus ice. The rest are down there, somewhere. You polluted their habitat as well? Christos stared at the murky water in genuine horror. Then he spun on his heels. That does it! I'll be back with the forest rangers. He was gone before anyone could stop him. Moments later, an engine flared to life on the road above the mouth of the cave. You can't let him bring the cops back here, Hank said to Mel, snatching his gun back from Phidias. My uncle don't need any trouble with the cops. He's in the middle of a turf war with the Espositos, and there's no telling what they might do. Unlike the others, Hank really was named Hank, although his last name had been changed from Lifshitz to Lipton. He was named after his uncle, Hank Lipschitz, who had bankrolled this movie in order to make his favorite nephew a star. Then we'd better get this over with before the cops get here. Mel clapped his hands for attention and grabbed his megaphone. Okay now, people, listen up. Let's get this sucker in the can before that idiot can get back with his pet police. Peg, you get Hank set up in the chrysalis of death. Theobald, you get back there with him and wait for your cue. Peg, soon as you're done there, you scoot behind that outcropping there to handle everyone's changes between the dimensions. And Crystal, Dolores, no more screwing around. This is a Mel Muscovitz production, and Mel Muscovitz don't do retakes. Now, places.
Well, that confused me. That was just a lot of words.
So they needed the Watchers.
They needed the Watchers, and they polluted the environment.
They tried spray painting the amphipods.
They polluted the environment. They killed the endangered isopods.
Peg says they're not dead. They're just down in their water.
Just down there. They're not dead. They're just over in the hole.
So Dr. Christos has left to get the cops.
Now, what is this? Environmental pollution? Is that what the crime of this story is? What is this?
No. See, that was last season when it was anything but murder.
Yeah.
This season is about murder.
Okay, who's getting murdered? The isopods?
Amphipods.
Oh my god.
In the ice cave. Who do you think is going to get murdered?
Well, gosh darn, how dare that movie say not be perfecto?
Who's going to die?
I don't know.
Okay, then let's jump on to the next chapter.
All right. I don't know the characters. I don't know what's happening. There's fake names in this stupid story.
There's real names and then there's character names.
Yeah, I can't do this. All right.
Just wait for the deliberation. We're going to use the character names.
Sure. Okay, just keep going. I'll figure it out.
Take one. And action, Mel called. The camera lights flared back to life as Hank waved his revolver wildly. Stand back, all of you. The treasure is mine. Stop, you fool, Phidias cried. But Hank's footsteps died off into the depths of the cavern. Lady Cartwright turned on Phidias, her chest heaving. Is that it? You're simply going to allow him to seize the treasure for himself? My dear woman, Phidias said with a small smile, Hank will find nothing inside there beyond disappointment and death. I hold the true treasure of this cave right here. He held out his hand to show her a butterfly beating its pearlescent wings in his palm. The glowworm guardians of the portals have started to emerge from their cocoons. Phidias breathed, and we are here to witness their miraculous metamorphosis. A shriek echoed from wall to wall, and Eunice staggered from the depth of the cave, her prim spinster blouse ripped open to display an enviable bust. He's dead, she cried. The love of my life is gone, pressed beneath the suffocating layers of the dreaded chrysalis of death. What are you doing? Lady Cartwright cried. I'm supposed to discover Hank. You're not even in this scene. If I have warned you two once, Mel began, but he never got to finish. Son of a bitch, the cameraman cried. A goddamn butterfly's on my lens. Get rid of it and keep rolling, Mel cried. We'll fix it in post-edit. Peg, go ahead and set up the changes for the next scene. Already on it, boss. Another curse from the cameraman, and the entire cave went dark, then exploded into a kaleidoscope of shattered crystals and beating wings.
Is
No.
that what this is? Oh,
No.
wait, did I turned my microphone off. As I was saying, am I on drugs?
You are not.
What is this?
This?
That was the most ethereal ending. Kaleidoscope of shattered crystals and beating wings.
Yes.
What?
Yes. They shot the first scene. Or the
Hank's
second
dead.
scene. Well,
Hank's dead.
you think Hank's dead?
Everybody. Yeah, skip past the part that Hank's dead. It kind of, maybe, in like a way. In a sense, Hank is dead.
All right. Well, let's go to take two. And
what is this?
I told you would love it.
This is... What is it? I don't know yet.
It's a movie within a podcast.
I'm so confused.
Let's keep going.
Okay. All right. Now this time I really will turn off my microphone. There we go.
Take two. Action, Mel called once more. This time, Phidias was crouched alone in the cavern, his eyes hollow, his sweeping mane of silver hair disheveled, thanks to Peg's artful administrations behind the outcropping. And so, my ancient enemy rises once more, he mused straight into the camera. Crystallides may be safely chained in the dark abyss of the Watchers, but I fear his emissaries will prove even more dangerous. He opened his hand toward the camera to display an iridescent butterfly's wing, then laid it gently in a nearby pool of melted ice. As soon as it touched the water, the wing began to beat, slowly at first, and then with increasing force until an icy maelstrom rose to engulf the entire cavern, setting the walls dancing with spinning, frothing life. As I suspected, Phidias breathed. Before he was captured, he managed to seed the cavern with his diabolical glowworms, the larvae of the Psyche moth, the world's only cave-dwelling moth. They are no friends to this world. Oh no, far from it. Creatures of infinite appetite, they know only one purpose: to devour the fragile veils that separate our world from the others hidden in this cave, weaving the strands into a single chrysalis of death, from which their infernal master will emerge to unleash his chaos, not just on this world alone, but across every possible universe that spreads out from this place. Madness! Horror! A light flared to life in the depths of the cavern, and Professor Theobald staggered into the camera's range, his face lit into a mask of terror by the lantern that swung wildly from his shaking hands. "Hank's dead," he gasped. "The infernal glowworms are already feeding. I tried to stop them, but it was too late for Hank. He's trapped inside the dreaded chrysalis of death." "Son of a bitch," the cameraman cried. "There's another goddamn butterfly." "Get rid of it and keep rolling," Mel growled. "Peg, already on it, boss," she said, as once again the entire cave went dark.
It didn't get better.
Just keep going.
No, what's the... Why should we keep going?
You need to
I'm
keep going.
going to get to the end of this and think that Barbara did it. Is Barbara a character in the
No,
story?
Barbara is not a character.
I feel like I heard it recently. I think it might have been in relation to what's happened. This drug trip of a story.
Keep going.
No, it's...
Keep going.
You can't legally enforce that upon me.
I'm going to turn your mic off and plant your hands on your keyboard.
Okay.
Take 3. Once more, the lights flared warily to life and footsteps echoed in the depths of the cavern. A butterfly beat its ruby wings. A shaft of sunlight set a pool of water dancing. "The glowworm guardians," Phidias began, but even he sounded tired of the game. "Each one of them a sentry." "What the hell?" A new voice echoed from wall to wall. "I came here to do a job, not battle killer moths." A man in a bedraggled cassock stormed out of the depths of the cavern. "Who the hell are you?" Mel snapped. "Mike Howe, the vengeful father," Peg informed him from behind the outcropping. "And what is he doing here now?" Mel howled. "You're supposed to be the angry father who just might be the avenging angel who smote down Hank when he tried to steal the Watcher's treasure. Well, take a look around. No one smote down Hank yet. How can you threaten Phidias with the same flaming sword that killed his guide if you don't even have a dead man?" "Oh, you got a dead man back there, and this don't look much like an angel to me, even if it does have wings." Howell held up the mask made of phosphorescent cheesecloth. "This looks like a goddamn butterfly, and it just sucked the life out of your star." "Son of a bitch," the cameraman cried. "The damn butterflies are back, and this time it's a swarm." Cut! Mel shouted. Peg! Already here, boss, she said, emerging from the shadows once more. You're going to stop after each scene?
I think that's what we agreed upon. We'd have a small discussion after every single chapter.
So what do you want to discuss?
So let's discuss the ergonomic crisis that's clearly happening. Ergonomic, of course, meaning, that physical therapy thing or whatever that, fits into the curvature of the body.
Of the chrysalis of death.
But for all I know, that is what they're talking about in this this here story. I couldn't tell you. Tell you left from right.
Just keep going. This is the last chapter before the deliberation. It will all start to make sense.
Left and right will be up and down, and 2 lefts from Tuesday. Okay, let's roll.
Cut. Mel stared down balefully at the chrysalis of death and then called for a cameraman to move his light closer. Mel took a moment to inspect the slack face that was visible beneath the tightly wound papier-mâché carapace, then opened the lid of the chrysalis to take a look at the rest of the body. As he did, a piece of paper slid out of the crack and floated to the ground. Son of a bitch, Mel cried, snatching it up and reading it before anyone else could. It's an offer for a complete script control from the Espositos. The putz was going to stab me in the back, just like Chrysalides did. You best let me burn it before anyone else sees it, Peg said quickly. We don't need any loose talk about you having motive to kill him. Motive schmotive. What do I care if Hank jumps ship? He's dead in all the scenes that he had left to film. I gotta say, I don't look forward to explaining this to his uncle. The kid had the brains of a half-cooked brisket, but Lipschitz Sr. didn't get to where he is by buying a lot of cock and bull stories. Mel delivered his eventual eulogy. Might go a long way to present him with the killer tied up with a great big bow. Peg, that bug guy gone yet? You mean Dr. Christos, the entomologist, she asked. Entomologist, my hiatal hernia, Mel said. That guy was a hitman, you mark my words. If I may, Phidias interrupted him, I fear that may prove to be an unfounded assumption. Yeah, well, if it's an assumption that keeps Lipschitz Sr. off our back, I'm all for it, Mel said. But why run the risk of being wrong at all when identifying the true killer is a simple problem? Elementary, as one of my colleagues might say, Phidias said with a smile. I keep telling you, he never said that. Peg sighed. The solution to any crime depends on establishing only 3 things, Phidias went on as if Peg hadn't spoken. He leaned against the chrysalis of death as if it were a podium and used his fingers to enumerate. Motive, means, and opportunity. Shall we begin with the means? There can be no question that Hank was suffocated by the recently hatched psyche moth. You mean a bug? Mel sighed. Why are you wasting time? Let's grab the bug guy and wrap up the shoot. Forgive my lack of precision. I should have said that Hank was killed by this prop. Phidias held out the cheesecloth mask so that everyone could see it was shaped like a butterfly. He sniffed at it carefully and then said, which was clearly soaked in chloroform before it was laid over his face, slowly suffocating him while he was helplessly cocooned. Sounds to me like you know a hell of a lot about how he was killed, Howe said suspiciously. Who's to say you weren't the one who killed him and now you're going to try to blame it on one of us? Oh, it can't be Phidias any more than it could be me, Peg said quickly. Phidias and I were right next to each other the whole time. He had to stay close so I could adjust his makeup and everyone could see Chrysalides' evil hand at work. We only had 5 minutes for the change and I needed every one of them. A simple enough crime, then, Phidias mused as he laid the mask back on the actor's face as if he were laying a wreath on a coffin. Easily committed by either man or woman. Or an entomologist, Mel snapped. Come on, Phidias, we're wasting time. 3 people were closeted alone in the darkness while Hank he was helplessly bound in the cocoon. 3 people had equal opportunity to strike the fatal blow. Once again, Phidias held up his fingers to enumerate. Crystal Barre, who played Eunice, Artie Mills, who played Professor Theobald, and our vengeful father, Mike Howe here, who was hidden back behind the the crystallis, waiting for his cue. He gave everyone a moment to absorb his words before he went on, which brings us to our next consideration, motive, the concealed secrets of the human heart. And yet for all a murderer may strive to conceal them, it's not difficult to probe such secrets. Put simply, motive can be boiled down to 3 things: sex, money, or revenge. Or as the rabble will have it, lust, loathing, and loot. He spat the words out as if they were a bad taste, before he turned to Crystal. Let's begin with lust. "How dare you?" she hissed, before she slapped him, but he evaded her neatly. "Oh, I was not referring to you, Miss Barre," Phidias assured her, before he moved to Professor Theobald. "I refer instead to the 3rd leg of the lusty triangle, Mr. Artie Mills. Hank Lipschitz stole away the only woman you ever loved, the woman you still cherish hopes of marrying. But what chance did a balding middle-aged actor stand as long as Hank Lipschitz was still around?" Professor Theobald balled his fist. "You got an accusation? You come over here and make it to my face like a man. Yeah, sure, I would have killed Hank, and gladly, but when I did, if I did, I'm going to do it up close and personal and in a fair fight." "Oh, sweetie," Crystal said with an elaborate shiver, as she shimmied around the dead man to throw herself in the professor's arms. "You know how you scare me when you get all jealous." He drew her close. "I'd do anything for you, babe, and I didn't kill that mook." "Hey, guys, get a room, or even better, save it for the next take," Mel sighed. "And yet, Miss Barre, you did have a reason to kill Hank, did you not?" Phidias asked. "For Hank promised you a place in this movie to lure you into his clutches. Said he'd even have his agent write it into his contract. But what he didn't say was that you'd be cast as his ex-wife's dowdy companion, Eunice, and get less screen time than she did." "Well, I took care of that now, didn't I?" Crystal said with a toss of her head. "Or should I have said Hank's soon-to-be ex-wife?" Phidias turned to Dolores Del Marimba. "You could teach Crystal Barre a thing or two about Hank and his promises, starting with Hank's promise to have and hold you from this day forward. But what he didn't tell you, when he was looking into your eyes and reciting his vows, was he had a stable full of first-rate divorce lawyers. If Hank divorced you, you'd never work in Hollywood again. But if Hank died before signing the final papers, you'd get all his money." "Bah!" Horace snorted. "It's no secret that I had every reason to kill Hank. But you can't get around the fact that I have an airtight alibi. Thanks to her stealing my scenes, I was never alone with Hank while he was in the cocoon." She turned on Crystal, matching her head toss for head toss. "I guess I'll be thanking you for the airtight alibi while you're on your way to the electric chair, dearie." "Not until we're through post-production," Mel snapped. "Now, we must turn to the last motives, loathing or revenge." Phidias cut off further discussion firmly. "What loathing?" Mel sighed. "The guy was a putz. He wouldn't be anywhere without his uncle pulling the strings. No one cared enough about Hank to loathe him." "The guy was indeed a putz, to echo your rather fruity language, but he was also the nephew of a man many people had ample cause to hate, as well as the wherewithal to do something about it." Phidias turned on the actor in the monk's habit, who had been quietly sidling toward the exit. "Although I'm sure in your case there was no personal loathing involved. Instead, I'm guessing this was purely business? A solid workman doing a professional job? You're a hitman, Mr. Howe. You frankly couldn't act your way out of a paper bag." All right, Jack, we have reached the deliberation.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see what Jack knows.
Okay, so Phidias Quinn has more than the Watchers to worry about with someone suffocating Hank. He needs our
He's
help,
dead.
and so does Jack, to solve Hank's murder so he can get back to the butterflies.
Yay.
That Phidias, not Jack.
Obviously.
Here are the people in the Crystal Cave of the Watchers in the order that we met them.
Phidias did it.
Here is Eunice, whose real name is Crystal Barre. She is the hot wannabe starlet.
Crystal's not a man?
No, why would Crystal be a man?
I've been confused.
What is Crystal a man's name?
I just thought it was like an effeminate, futuristic name.
Oh, it will be now that you said
You
that.
know?
Professor Theobald, who's played by Artie Mills, who keeps losing his lines, especially to the women.
Cool.
There is Lady Cartwright, played by Dolores Della Marimba. You could remember her name. It's Marimba. Hank's almost ex-wife.
Uh-huh.
There's Peg, the workaholic script girl and Mel's secret weapon.
Sure.
Then there's Mel Moskowitz, the B-movie director extraordinaire.
Odd guy.
Dr. Milo E. Christos, the supposed entomologist.
Supposed.
And the angry father, played by Mike Howe, who is, well, it says he's hot for the wannabe starlet, but I didn't write that right. He's just, I don't know what he is.
So
he's angry.
He's not hot for the wannabe star?
Theobald is. So I got a typo in my deliberation.
Wow, you got two hots.
Okay. So we'll just ignore that. He is not hot for the starlet. He's just Okay, here's what Phidias knows.
Yeah.
Hank Lipschitz, aka Hank Lipton, has a major role in Mel Moskowitz's current Phidias movie because his gangster uncle is financing the production. Hank brought his wife, Lady Cartwright, and the woman he's interested in, Eunice, to the movie. Filming is interrupted by entomologist Milos Christos, who claims to be all about glowworms. Mel thinks he's a hitman.
Oh, but Milo.
Yeah, Phidias doesn't think he's a hitman, but Mel does.
Okay, sure.
Peg explains to Christos that they aren't using glowworms after the phosphorescence didn't work, even after they chloroformed the crustaceans to get them to stay still.
Poor babies.
Mel then sends Hank, Peg, and Professor Theobald into the back. Peg is to help Hank into the chrysalis. Theobald is to wait for his cue, and Angry Father and Eunice are also back there.
Okay.
Angry Father discovers Hank is dead, and that the mask over his face has been soaked in chloroform.
Ooh. Cool.
Phidias said Hank was divorcing Lady Cartwright, crushing her career. His death means she inherits it all. She points out she wasn't with Hank. She wasn't alone, typo. She wasn't alone with Hank inside the chrysalis or in the back.
It was. I'm gambling.
Still got 3 more.
Let me just throw my money away.
Okay.
Now you can keep reading.
Phidias said Professor Theobald was crushing on Eunice, but killed Hank for cock-blocking him.
Poor guy.
The professor said he could have done it, but he didn't.
Yeah, he could have murdered a man. Would have been worth it.
Phidias said Angry Father was the hitman, striking at Hank's uncle through Hank.
Odd.
Mel just wants to make his movie and is worried about answering to Hank's uncle about his death. Well, he's kind of worried about it. Besides, he was in front of the camera and the crew the entire time. So, Jack, in whose direction should Phidias look for such an insidious deed?
Dude, I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, let's see if you can eliminate people. Okay, so actors. So you notice Phidias is not a suspect.
Phidias isn't a suspect, which was my initial guess, so that's bad on me.
We have 2 women.
Eunice,
who is the one Hank wants to get with.
Yeah.
And Lady Cartwright, who is Hank's almost ex-wife.
Okay, and she plays Dolores Del Marimba?
That's her real name. Dolores Del Marimba plays Lady Cartwright.
You got too many names.
I know.
House.
That's why we're using the character names.
Why?
Because it shows up more in the script.
Okay.
So, Lady Cartwright. And the younger Eunice. How do you feel about the 2 women?
Eunice is a sweet little thing. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's in over her head. How about that? Does that sound right?
So not Eunice.
Sure.
Okay.
It was Eunice, wasn't it?
So what about Lady Cartwright?
Lady Cartwright. I don't blame her. I would do it as well. We'll put Lady as the maybe.
As a yellow maybe. All right. So then for the movie production, we have Peg.
It ain't Mel, it ain't Peg. Those guys are just making movies.
You think they're just making movies?
Yeah.
Okay, they're both red. So we have the gatecrasher, Dr. Milo E. Christos.
It ain't Dr. Milo. It ain't
Okay.
Dr. Milo. He's just along for the ride. He's
So
just
he's
protecting
red.
his isopods.
So now we have the two last actors, Professor Theobald and Angry Father.
I don't think it's Angry Father. He's a weird guy.
Okay. So not Angry Father and Professor Theobald?
I don't know. Who do you think it is?
I can't tell you because I know.
So just give me a little hint. Just give me a little hint. We'll turn off our microphones for a second.
Okay, you want me to turn off the microphones for a second?
Right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What? That makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. I guess in this case, I'm gonna go Peggy.
Okay.
I'm either going Peg or Mel.
Okay. Peg or Mel. So.
And Mel feels just a little too unmotivated, so we'll go with Peggy.
Okay. All right. So I hope all you armchair detectives have locked in your vote. And before Jack starts playing again, I want to let you all know that Jack and I are working hard to get our social media off the ground.
Yeah, we are.
It's tough because, we both have day jobs. But check out our Facebook, which is at M2D4 Podcast, which will give you the pulse of the not only the show overall, but every episode. And then on our Instagram, which is at Mysteries to Die For, all spelled out. And then explore our website, m2d4podcast.com. It has all of our episodes, links to our authors and to their websites, and to the anthologies that go with each season. So we hope to see you there.
We do indeed.
All right, Jack.
Okay.
Are you ready for That's a Wrap?
No, I'm not ready to get the first episode wrong. The first episode, and I'm already getting them wrong? This isn't a good start to the year. Maybe I should rethink my day job. Yeah, maybe I should. All right.
Fine, you got me. Howe reached beneath his tattered cassock and pulled out a remarkably serviceable-looking gun. All right, then. Everyone needs to take a step back and nobody gets hurt. You killed Hank? Peg asked. Hell no. I was sent here to teach Lipschitz a lesson, sure, but it looks like someone beat me to the punch. So says you, Mel said. You care to prove that? Be reasonable, man. Howe sighed. I'm a professional. If I was going to do a hit, I'd shoot a man clean in the forehead. I'm not going to go screwing around with a magic moth mask. You got a point, Mel allowed. But who else could have done it? Professor Theobald asked. You said yourself that only 3 people had a chance to kill Hank. So which one was it? Don't look at me, Howe said. I already told you, the guy was dead when I got here. Hank was supposed to be dead, Crystal wailed. He was all wrapped up in the cocoon with the mask over his face the whole time. How were any of us supposed to know whether he was dead or not? Phidias nodded slowly. A pretty puzzle, he mused. A pretty puzzle indeed. If we could determine which take Hank was killed in, we could tell who did it. But we can't now, can we? Mel sighed. Did you forget about the damned accident with the butterfly? But was it an accident? Phidias's voice grew portentous. Or was it the fine Italian hand of my ancient enemy Crystallides at work? Oh, for God's sake, give it a rest. Crystallides isn't real. Dolores sighed. And if he was already dead, any of us could have killed him. Even you. I already told you, Phidias couldn't have done it, Peg snapped. I'm willing to swear he has an alibi. I was right beside him the whole time. And yet, my dear, that really is no alibi at all, Phidias said quietly. Not if the deed had already been done. He quelled Peg's anger protest with an upraised finger. Yes, you can swear that I couldn't move without your seeing me. Phidias paused for a practice beat and then added, but only after you had already killed Hank by chloroforming the moth mask. Everyone began to babble, but Mel's voice overrode them. That's crazy. Hank was the star of the production. Peg wouldn't hurt one of my movies. Are you quite so sure? Phidias asked. Why would she? Peg's my right hand. She loves these movies as much as I do. Ah, yes, love. Phidias's gaze grew far away. They say lust, loathing, and loot are the classic motives for murder, and yet there are those who would add a fourth. Love. A love so compelling, it could drive a person to kill. Are you saying I was in love with Hank Lipschitz? Because don't be ridiculous, Peg said. Phidias's gaze turned to the walls that still blinked with the melting remnants of the multiverse. No, he said gently, but you do love something far more than that. You love these movies. You love the stories. You love these stories that tumble across your mind in the dark of the night when the camera has stopped rolling. So many stories that a single universe isn't big enough to hold them. All right, that's enough. Traveling the multiverse has begun to affect your brain, Mel sighed. Peg, it's time to strike the set. We're done here. I speak, of course, of your own stories. Phidias' attention remained wholly on Peg. Or shall I say, the stories that Mel Moskowitz had billed as his own for all these years. Phidias lowered his finger at Peg accusingly. The Espositos approached you when they figured out that Crystallides couldn't write any better than Mel could, didn't they? They offered you the chance of finally getting the credit you deserve. And why should I? Peg shook her head angrily to stop herself. Be that as it may, what on earth does that have to do with Hank being killed? Well, he was blackmailing you, of course, Phidias said. He found the Esposito's offer and threatened to take it to Mel. No, Mel muttered. No. My girl wouldn't do that to me. But it was too late. Peg handled every disaster Mel Moskowitz had thrown at her, from an escaped crowned cobra of Delhi to a stampede of untrained horses panicked by their unicorn horns. But now she cracked. I wasn't trying to kill him, she cried. It was never supposed to happen that way. Yes, I dosed the mask with chloroform, but I was just going to put him out for a couple of hours so I could search his trailer for those stories. For my stories, damn it. Her face crumpled. But the wretched butterflies kept getting in the cameras and slowing everyone down. By the time I had the chance to get back to Hank, he was already dead. Her voice trailed off into a wail, which was followed rapidly by a much louder wail from Mel. No, not Peg. It can't be Peg. I'm on the clock here. I need my Peg. No worries, boss, she calmed him with a twisted smile. We're done shooting for the day. Dr. Christo should be back here with the state police any minute. I'll head up and meet them while you strike the set. She turned to Howe, who had been edging systematically toward the exit. You might want to stay down here and help them clear the set. When you're done, you should be able to slide out at the other end of the cave where no one will see you. Thanks, Peg, he said with a wink. You're a peach. She's my goddamn peach, Mel howled. And I goddamn well can't work without my peach. How do you expect me to do anything without my Peg? You expect me to shoot without my right arm? He spun on Peg. Peg, sweetheart, you don't need to do this. Just tell them what's it going to take. Script writing credit? Already done. Executive producer? Share the royalties? Done. And done. Peg patted his arm. It's okay, boss. You'll find another peach. In another universe, maybe. But before he was done speaking, Mel's face lit up with the gleam that his enemies and admirers alike knew meant that another masterwork was in the offing. Whatever this was going to be, it was going to be huge. Bigger than the Crocodile King of Calcutta. Bigger even than the She-Empress of Mu herself. I'm an idiot. Snapping his fingers, Mel turned to Phidias. Why didn't I see it right away? This can only be the evil work of Dr. Crystallides, a galaxy-swapping moth king. You said it yourself. Crystallides and the diabolical agent of his were trying to steal my stories. I mean, of course, Peg's stories. He corrected himself hastily. In order to hide the infernal truth that only I dared to reveal. Phidias's face lit in agreement. Crystallides, of course. Peg was nothing but his unwitting tool. He turned to Peg, and with a commanding voice that had once, it was said, played Prospero, "Have no fear, my dear. Your secret will remain safe with us. Yours might have been the hand that struck down Hank Lipschitz, but the evil intelligence behind this plot was Crystalides, the Moth King." He turned toward the camera to deliver his summing up, even though no one was filming. "Alas, we must concede the field to him today. The world must be told that Hank's death was a tragic onset accident. But those of us who are here today will know the truth. It was the butterfly's wing that killed him." The end.
I got it right.
You got it right.
I got it right.
So
you had a pretty good hint, I guess.
So what I said to Jack when we turned the mics off is that it's
always the one that's least expected, right? Is that what you said? That's not. Yeah,
it's the one you never think it is.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, at least expected that guy.
I was laughing when you went to Peg off of that clue. It's like the one you don't think it is.
I was well, it doesn't seem like any of them.
I was like, you ruled out 7 of them, and yet you somehow went to the right one based on that clue.
Yeah, it seemed like it was all them. And I went to Peg and I went, it's not them. It must be them.
So did you catch it in hindsight that she gave Phidias an alibi, and in doing so, gave herself the alibi?
I didn't get that.
It was subtle.
Oh, yeah, never mind. I do remember that.
And she was like, "No, Phidias couldn't have done it because he was right with me the whole time."
Yeah. That's pretty good.
And she was the one who chloroformed the amphipod, so she had the chloroform.
That's crazy. Good for Peg and good for me.
I want to thank Erica. I've read this story now 4 or 5 times, and it's just, I know you were driving you a little crazy, probably because we just had one voice reading it. If we had all the different voices.
No, it was all good. It was, I didn't get too lost. Just ignore everything I've said so far.
But it was tricky because, right, it's a play within the podcast. So you have characters popping in and out of character.
Yes. And then some of them you can't tell what is popping out of a character and what is, a line they said.
And even in the when it's in the anthology, you have to process that yourself. Mm-hmm. Aside from the little, somebody was exasperated or that's my line, it's okay, that's my line was not a line.
Yeah. That 2 thoughts.
So how did you feel about Mel and the crew covering for Peg?
They were covering on purpose?
Well, at the end, they say, she's going to get away with it.
Oh, and
they're going to blame
Crystalide.
Yeah. How do you feel about letting the killer get away?
Well, they didn't really let the killer get away. What do you mean?
Well, they're not going to turn her over to the cops that the totally real entomologist, Dr. Christos, is bringing back.
I've missed this part of the story. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Peggy didn't get away with it?
Huh? Peg did.
I mean, Peggy got away with it?
Well, so they know that she did it.
Yeah.
But here's where Mel is turning it into the idea, and he's blaming Dr. Crystalides.
Yes.
And Phidias, who refuses to come out of character, is like, yes, Peg may have done it, but it was totally Crystalides.
Wait, so Phidias refuses to get out of character, and that's the only reason?
Well, Mel's playing into it. So he says, Peg was nothing but an unwitting tool. Have no fear, my dear. Your secret will remain safe with us. Yours might have been the hand that struck down Hank.
You don't have to reread this. It's clearly not sticking.
But the evil intelligence behind this plot was Crystalides, the Moth King.
The whole story is out of my mind. I've forgotten it. And this is more of a safety measure that I've forgotten it. It would have been dangerous if I'd kept it in my head.
So yes, they are going to.
No, it's terminated. You can't talk to me anymore about it. I couldn't tell you a thing.
So here's another cool feature that in writing back and forth with Erica, that she shared, that as it says in the beginning, that this cave is real. It is not the Cave of the Watchers, but it is, let's see if I can find it real quickly, the name of the cave. I know it was in Ellenville.
Ellenville where?
New York.
Oh. Cool, dude.
It is the Ice Caves Mountain of Ellenville.
Interesting.
And Erica has been there. She hiked out of the cave. She did not see amphipods, so she did do research on that, but apparently they do live in that cave. They were just hiding from her.
Ah, pretty cool.
So now, everyone, it is my pleasure. If you have not heard Erica's stories before, check out a couple of the last seasons. She has ones in all of them. They're all really, really cool. So there are 3 places that you can find Erica Obey when she isn't writing. She is pottering in her garden, out on the trail looking for birds, or taking trivia night far too seriously at the local establishment. She is the author of The Brooklyn North Murder, the first full-length Watson and Doyle mystery, as well as 5 other novels set in the Hudson Valley, including the award-winning The Curse of the Braddock's Brides. Erica is a past president of the Mystery Writers of America New York chapter and a frequent reviewer and judge. She holds a PhD in comparative literature and published academic work on female folklorists before she decided she'd rather be writing stories herself. Check her out on her website, ericaobey.com, and find her on Facebook and Instagram. And I will say, highly recommend The Brooklyn North Murder. And Watson and Doyle have a couple of stories. I didn't think to look them up before playing this episode, but highly recommend those for mystery lovers. And with that, I will shut up and let Jack take us out.
Oh, am I still muted? Scene.